Hi everyone, welcome to this Pilates practice. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. So I will tell you a bit about myself if you haven't done it before. If you have done it before and you want to bypass this bit, then do just move on. We're going to be using hand weights today, if you've got them, and a block. Be working on our legs and we're going to be coming into a yogi squat, so we can use the block to sort of sit on. If you haven't got a block and you wanted to use something, you could use a book, and again, if you haven't got hand weights, as I always say, you can use water bottles. Make sure they've got some water in. Empty ones won't do a lot of good. So move along if you feel free to now. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell you a quick bit about myself. So for those of you that are new, my name's Debbie. You may have read my little section on the top of my YouTube channel. But if not, I'm just going to tell you, I've been doing Pilates now for around about the last 18 years. Started when I had a premature menopause at the age of 29. I got osteopenia, it went into full-blown osteoporosis. And the final for me was when I prolapsed my disc. It was no fun, I was taking endless medications, trying to get myself sorted, and it just wasn't working, so I looked around for alternatives. Pilates came up, and I have to say I haven't looked back. So my theory around Pilates is obviously because I've got bone density issues. I like to build up my muscles, hence why I use hand weights. So I build up my muscles. By building up your muscles, it will automatically tell your bone cells to grow faster, because obviously as we get older they depreciate and they grow slower. So if you build up the muscles, it promotes the bones to grow new cells. And that's why I do it, and I have really felt a big difference for it. It helps with your posture, because you're using your core, so your posture becomes nice, you support the spine, and my spine is one of my issues that I need to sort of obviously take care of. So with Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth. Every breath in, we pull in our core. Every breath out, we hold the core tighter. We try and hold the core throughout the whole practice. Sometimes it's quite difficult, particularly when we're moving forward. It's a little bit more difficult to sort of hold the core. But if you can try and pull in those bottom cores right down here below the pelvis, they're the ones that you're going to hold and squeeze tight if you can when you're bending forward. So we're going to take ourselves to our mats. You can come down from laying. If you're coming down from your side, then come down from your left if you have low blood pressure. Otherwise, you can come down with me from a seated position. So we keep our feet firmly on the mat and we've got them hip distance apart. We come down in what we call our C curve. So we don't just drop back, we C curve our spine down. We gently look after our spine, we allow it to come down in a nice rolling motion. If you get to a point, say here, where you're not holding it with the core and you can't hold yourself and your feet are lifting up, take behind your thighs and allow your arms to do the work for you when you're coming down. So taking your arms out, big breath in, pulling in that core. As we breathe out, we hold the core tight and we C-curve ourselves down very slowly, one vertebrae to the mat. We get down to the mat and we take a nice full body stretch. Now, if you have lower spine issues, you could take your feet mat width apart, lock your knees in together, you take in a big breath, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, you push the core or squeeze the core, and you push the spine down into the mat, you push away. You squeeze the legs together, you squeeze the glutes, you push the arms away, and you squeeze really tight, squeezing and working that whole body, a full body stretch there, and then release down. You can take the full body stretch in the classic, which is legs long, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, you push the back down and the spine into the mat as you can, and you push away. You push the legs away, you push the arms away, you squeeze everything tight. Squeezing it, squeezing it, squeezing, keeping the core tight, and then release. Do that one more time wherever you are. Big breath in, pulling in the core. Breath out, squeezing the core tight, pushing the back down into the mat, just gently, and push it away with your arms and legs. Squeezing, squeezing, and then releasing down. Okay, I always take a few moments to check in with our bodies and see how we're feeling today. Every practice is feeling different. Every time we look at our bodies, each practice, we've noticed that there is perhaps something different that's niggling us. So we take this time to just check our bodies out, relax down, and make sure we focus on areas that we notice at this point throughout the practice, and we pay attention to them. So just closing the eyes down if you can, or downcast, that way we don't focus on anything around the room that we're in, and we keep our focus internally. Dropping the feet outwards and taking the arms away from the body, palms facing upwards. Release the neck out, so just turning your head gently from side to side, releasing your neck. Letting everything go now, we can even let the core go, we don't need to hold that. We're starting to relax down, to look at our bodies and check in. Excellent, coming back to centre. Just going to release the stomach, going to release the neck a little bit more. So we're going to pull in our core on the in-breath. And as you breathe out, you're just going to bring your chin to chest, but you're going to hold your core tight. So just chin up, shoulders staying firmly on the mat, chin to chest, holding it there, keeping the core tight. Breathing in, pull that core tighter. And as we breathe out with the core held tight, we drop our head gently back down to the ground. And we let it go, we let the core go, and we feel it relax and melt into the mat, feeling the weight of our head, how heavy that is now we've let it relax. Let's start from our feet, checking in with our feet and our ankles. How are they feeling today? Your calves, your knees and your thighs. Checking both legs, ask everything to relax down. Any tenseness, ask it to soften. Your pelvis, your glutes, your lower spine, your mid-spine, your stomach, your upper spine and your chest. Checking in with your whole spine. Ask it to soften. Any areas that might be tense, you focus on them throughout the practice and don't push them too hard. How's the core and the chest feeling? Is that okay? And then onto your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms. Check in with both arms. How are they feeling? Any niggles? Ask any tension to soften. And then onto our shoulders. We hold so much tension in our shoulders. Really let them go, let them relax down, breathe into them if they are tense. Ask them to soften. Just let them go. And your neck and your head. Let all your facial muscles relax. Let every part of your body just relax down and be soft. And lay here for a moment and you can check and scan your body yourself, scanning from the tips of your toes to the top of your head and looking how you're feeling today. Time to relax. Let's start to waken our bodies up a little bit, and don't forget those areas that you found today that are not feeling so great. Just focus on them today throughout your practice. Start wriggling your toes and your fingers. Taking a big breath in and big breath out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Bringing their feet up, mat width apart with the knees locked inwards. Keeping the eyes closed down still if you can. Taking your arms out into a T shape. Let's just release our neck again from side to side while we have our arms in T shape. Don't worry about any clicks or pops that you might be hearing, that's just the air coming out and releasing itself. Coming back to centre, allowing the legs to part, taking a big breath in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, you hold that core tight and you allow the legs to drop over to the left-hand side. Get to your point of tension and relax down again there. You might find tension in your spine, you might find it in your thighs, you might notice some tension in your hips. Breathe into any areas, ask them to be soft. Really let them relax. On your next breath in, let's pull in that core, holding it tight. At the same time, you bring your legs to centre. Breathing out at the top, but keep the core tight. Next breath in, core tighter. Breath out, holding that core, dropping the legs over to the right hand side. When you get to your point of tension and relaxation, let everything go. Breathe into those tense areas, wherever they may be. On your next in-breath, pull in the core, and at the same time, let's bring our legs to centre. Holding that core tight, taking the legs so that they are now hip width apart, bringing your arms down by your sides. Are you bringing your legs a little bit closer? We're going to get what we call neutral spine, and then we're going to go up into a little bridge, working our spine slowly. Actually, if you have a block or a book, that would be quite good to actually have that close by for this as well. So bringing the feet a little bit closer. We're going to start our neutral spine. So we take our hands into a triangular shape and we put them over the front of our pelvis. We breathe in, we pull in our core, and our back and our pelvis go down. As we breathe out, we pull the core tighter and slightly tilt the pelvis upwards. And we release down, but we hold the core. Breathing in. Breathing out, tilt the pelvis, core tight. Release down, holding the core. Breath in, breath out. Breathing in as you release down, holding the core. Breathing out as you tilt the pelvis back up. Breath in as you lower, keeping the core tight. Breath out as you squeeze up, squeezing the core tighter. Really make those core muscles work. Don't let them go. Moving that pelvis, tilting it and getting our nice neutral spine. The next time you go down, stay there. That's your neutral spine, holding that core. Don't let the core go. We're going to take our hands down by our sides for support. We're going to breathe in, pulling in the core tighter. And as we breathe out, we squeeze our glutes. We start to lift the pelvis. And we start to roll ourselves up very gently, one vertebrae at a time. Just slowly, we're warming up here, don't go too crazy. Holding it at the top, keeping the core tight, breath in. And as you breathe out, roll down again, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Let's do that again, breath in, pulling in that core. Breath out, we squeeze everything, we squeeze the glutes, we tilt the pelvis and we start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. You might come up a little bit deeper now. Don't do anything that's bothering the body in any way. Just go to what's comfortable for you. Breathing in, holding the core tight. Breathing out, you tilt that pelvis and squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, squeeze everything as you come up. The arms are nice and relaxed, however, everything is just being tight around this area, squeezing the legs, working our legs today. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, you lower yourself all the way back down. Now if you've got a block, don't have to use it, but you can take the block. So you've got your block, your feet now on the block, so your toes are just over the edge of the block, and they're nicely on there. You could use 2 blocks if that's better for you, or you can keep where we were. So breathing in, pulling in that core, breathing out, we tilt the pelvis, and we start to lift up with our feet on the block, coming up a little bit higher now, squeezing, holding everything tight there. Hold it there, breathing in, and as you breathe out, you come back down. Keep squeezing the thighs, hold that core. And now if you want to really test your balance now, you can take your hands away. If you start to move around and your legs are moving, take your hands back down for support, otherwise you'll damage your spine. Breathing in, taking in a big breath, holding that core tight. Breathing out, tilt the pelvis, and start to lift yourself up slowly, 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 all the way up to the top. Getting to the top, holding it there. Don't forget, you can take your hands down at any point you need. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, we take ourselves back down to the floor. Breathing in, pulling in the core tighter. Breathing out, holding that core tight. Squeeze, tilting the pelvis and lifting yourself up. Squeeze those thighs, work those legs. Holding it at the top there. And now if you want, you can take your hands underneath. You can clasp the fists together, or the fingers together, making a fist. And you can roll your shoulders under to make it even deeper. Holding it there. Breathing in, breathing out. Breath in, breath out. All the time holding the core. Coming back, breathing in. And as you breathe out, you bring yourself all the way back down. Now if you want, if you've still got the block, we're going to have a little restful point on the spine here. So coming back with our feet closer to our glutes, breathing in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we do what we did before. We squeeze, we tilt the pelvis, we start to lift up. We're going up, up, up. Now if you've got a block, you can take that under. You can have it that way, you can have it that way, or that way. That way I think it's a bit insane, but there's probably some people that can do it. It's not one for me, but you know, you go what's good for you. If you don't have a block or a book, then just take your hands under and support yourself. Let your back and your spine rest down on your hands and let the hands take the weight. Otherwise, we're taking our block just underneath our lower part of our back and allow the back to rest down. Holding it there. Keeping the core tight, don't let the core go. Now if you want, you can lift your right leg up. You can bring it down. And lift the left leg up. Bring it down. And straighten the leg and bring it up. And bring it down. Straighten the leg up. Bring it down. Again, you've got your hands here. Do it from here. Just bringing up your right leg. Bringing it down, bringing up your right leg, bringing it down, straightening the right leg up and bringing it down. Sorry, I think I missed out our left side there. Bringing up our left leg and bringing it down. Okay, let's do that one more time. Right leg up, right leg down, left leg up, left leg down. Straighten the right leg. Bringing it up, bringing it back down, straightening the left leg, bringing it up, bringing it back down. If you've got the block, take the block away. Hands either here or down the side for support. Breathing in, pulling in that core, keeping the core tight as you roll one vertebrae at a time down to the floor. Amazing, guys. Okay, let's come over onto our sides and do some side work on our legs. So let's come onto our left hand side. So we're coming down here, we've got our arm, elbow underneath our shoulder, legs nice and long. If you want to take your bottom leg out for support, it's entirely up to you. We're just going to gently start to lift our right leg. You can take your hand away, it's entirely up to you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to bring the leg in, out, and up. In, out, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Holding it here, so just slightly off the floor. Let's do some little circles. 8 circles forward, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's circle back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Let's take those circles bigger forward. 8, 7. You can put your hand down for support if you need. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's circle backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't forget to keep your core tight. 3, 2, and 1. Now the legs go down. 5 of whack. Let's turn over. Let's come onto our right hand side and do all that now with our left leg. Getting yourself comfortable. Legs out, as I say, you can take the bottom leg under for support if that's good for you. You can have your hand for support, whatever works for you. Okay, so let's start with our lifts. 8, 7, core tight. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it in, out, and up. In, out, and up. 4, 3, 2. Last one there. Holding it here. Let's take our little circles forward. 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't keep that core tight. 2, and 1. Let's circle backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get those circles bigger. Let's move forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Give that 5. Let's come back round. Let's come back onto our right hand side. Now you can stay here, or you can come up into a side plank. You can take the bottom leg under, and you can take it from here. We're going to do our lifts from here. So I think if you're going from there, it's going to be a little more difficult, lifting your leg from there. I prefer balance, it helps with my spine, but you go what's good for you. That's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's take that onto the other side. Let's turn around, work our left leg. Bringing our right leg under, or having it straight, whatever's good for you. You might be able to actually do it better on this side. Got a bad leg the other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bringing yourself back down. Yeah, I found it easier that side. I had a bit of a dodgy hip that side. So let's bring ourselves round. We're going to go into our child's pose just for a moment. So taking your legs mat width apart, big toes together, sitting on your heels. Going to bring ourselves forward. If that's too much for you, you can actually take your legs together. Breathing in, taking a big breath in, holding that core. And as you breathe out, you allow yourself to come down over your mat, resting the forehead down if you can, and pull away with your fingertips, opening the back of the shoulders, squeezing, and then relax down, taking your arms to the side, down by the side, or you can take them on your back. I like this because it's just a natural weight of my arms pressing down, opening out my hips for me. And bringing yourself round and bringing yourself onto all fours. Now, I'm going to do some work with the wall if you've got a wall, but don't worry if you haven't. Everything I do can be done without the wall. So we're going to come so that if you've got a wall nearby, you can take your foot against the wall. So this, I'm taking my left leg against the wall, but if you haven't, then just here and taking your left leg out and holding it there. We're going to be doing some bring forwards. It's quite nice with the wall because you've got the support there. So do what's best for you and what works for you. So taking your leg out, bringing the right leg up, and just bringing the right leg up and forward. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keeping the core tight. 3, 2, and 1. And if that's too much for you doing it here, you can actually just keep the leg down and do it with the knee on the floor. So let's take that on the other side. This time I'm going to take my right leg against the wall, pushing into it, nice straight leg, bringing my left leg in and out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that leg down, bringing the bones together. Okay, let's do a little bit of a figure of 8 here. Releasing ourselves out. And we're going to try that again. So, taking our left leg against the wall, bringing up our right leg, pushing it into the air. See if you can push up really high now this time, and bringing it down. 7, 6, breathing out as you push up, breathing in as you come down. 3, 2, And the last one. Bringing that down, pushing our right leg against the wall, left leg forward, pushing up. 8, 7, 2, and the last one. Bringing that leg down, bringing the knees down, little shake, bringing the wrists up, we're working our wrists, clench the fingers together and roll your wrists. Release, a little release off there, and the other way. Now we're going to try downward dog using the wall as well. So again, you can do the natural downward dog or the classic downward dog from this position. So we've got our hands underneath our shoulders, nicely fingers on everything, the whole palms gripped in. We curl our toes under, we hold our core tight, we breathe in. Breathing out, we push and we take ourselves up into our downward dog. Before we do that, let's have a little work our legs from here. So we're staying where we are, we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're holding that core, and we're just going to lift our knees about an inch or so off of the floor and hold it there. Working the arms and working the legs here. 8, 7, hold the core tight, don't stop breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and releasing that down. Okay, shake the wrists round. Let's take that again. Breathing in, and as we're breathing out, just lifting those knees off of the floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and releasing those legs down. Okay, you can go for the classic downward dog that I just shown you, or you can take it with your feet against the wall. So both feet this time pushed against the wall, using that as support, breathing in, and as you breathe out, you push up with your feet against the wall, really pushing your chest towards your thighs here. You might want to walk your hands a little bit further forward and a bit closer to you. Really feeling the stretch down the legs. It's a nice move. We've got our head below our heart. We've got the blood pumping. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, trying to hold the core. And then releasing yourself back down and sitting yourself back onto your feet. So we're just going to work our toes. So keeping our toes under, going to sit down onto our feet here, keeping the toes under. Just working the toes. And sit there for a few moments. Let the toes work. Don't work our toes enough. Do a lot for us. Keep our balance. Let's look after them. So we're just here, giving them a little bit of movement, opening them out. If you want to take your hands down, you can push up the knees and push down. Breathing in, pulling in the core. Breathing out as you lower. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice bit of toe work. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. We're going to take that downward dog again. So wherever you wish to take it, feet against the wall, or just with your natural downward dog. Taking the feet against the wall now, if you're with me, breathing in, and as we breathe out, we push up with our toes being pushed down and our feet nicely against the wall. walking our hands towards us if we can. Getting a really nice angle here. Bringing your knees back down and bringing yourselves around. Okay, we're going to take frog. If you've done one of my practices before that includes frog, you'll know it's not one of my favourites, but it actually is quite good for opening the hips, and because we've been working our legs, we need to work the hip area as well. So you take it so the feet are facing out like that. We take our knees wide, and then we bring our arms down and we push ourselves back so that we're getting the opening in the hips here. Just gentle rocks there until you get to a point that's comfortable for you, and then hold it. Try and hold your core if you can. I know it's a little bit difficult here. Just holding it there. Try and relax into it. Breathe into any tense areas, asking them to soften. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Trying to hold the core and trying to soften your body down. Excellent. Bringing yourself up. We're going to take our hand weights. Oh, actually, no, first of all, I think what we'll do is we'll do our little squats and we'll come into our yoga squat here. So, coming up, you don't want to come up too fast here, so we've got our feet nicely firmly on the mat. Just allow yourself to hang there for a moment, opening up down the back of the legs. We've worked our legs, we need to open them up. And taking your hands onto your hips, breathing in through the nose, bending your knees as you curl yourself up, one vertebra at a time, the lower spine, the mid spine, the upper spine, the shoulders go back and down, the neck lifts, and then the head. So we're going to do a few little squats here on our legs. So if we take our feet wider than hip width, we're going to start to come down, trying to keep our back nicely and straight as we come down. So we don't want to be sort of coming down like this. We're coming down with a nice straight back. So we're just coming down there. We come down with our straight back, put our arms into our knees, and then lift up. So elbows into the knees as we come down, and we lift up. Just working our legs here. Breathing in as you lower. Breathing out as you push up. Breathing in as you lower. Breathing out as you push up. 3, 2, trying to keep the core tight as well. And the last one here, we're going to see if we can come all the way down into our yogi squat. Now this is where you might want your block, so you can sit on your block. You can take the block that way, or you can take it the other way, and you can sit down and you can do your yogi squat there. If you're happy, which I quite like this pose, so if you're happy, you can just come down, back nice and straight, pushing out the hips and relax into it, closing the eyes down, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, asking everything to soften. Taking your hands down in front of you, pushing into your hands, pushing yourself up and allowing yourself to hang there with your feet and wider than the hip width, hanging down. a little bit closer together. Taking your hands in front of your legs, breathing in. And as you breathe out, you allow the hands to rise up to the legs, holding that core tight, squeezing your glutes. Your lower spine will lift, your mid-spine lifts, your upper spine lifts. The shoulders go back and down, the neck, and then finally the head. Classic Pilates roll up there. Okay, so we're going to come down, going to do a few sit-ups, few leg stretches, and then we're going to go into relaxation. So getting the hand weights if you've got them. You don't have to use them. Bringing yourself to seated at the top of your mat. So we've got our feet nicely mat width apart. We're going to take hold of our hand weights here. Breathing in, pulling in the core, taking the hand weights up if you've got them. If you haven't, then we'll just be doing this with our fists clenched, nice and tight, holding yourself there, keeping the feet nice and firmly on the mat. If they start lifting, then you've come too far. Okay, holding the arms out, breathing in, and as you breathe out, you bring yourself down. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping the core tight. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and the last one here. Holding it there. Just hold it where you are there. Let's bring up our left leg and lower. Bring up our right leg and lower. And if you want, you can bring up both legs, holding it there for 8, 7, or you can carry alternating. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently take the feet down, sit yourself up. Let's do full sit-ups. If you can, stay where you are, just for 8, 7, 6. Try not to swing yourself up. If you're swinging, you come down too far, stick with this much slower. So stick with not coming down as far. We've just got 3 more. 3, 2, last one. Coming up here. Staying seated, taking the weights away, take your legs long, breathing in, and as you breathe out, you lower yourself down. You open the spine. We've been working our spine a lot as well today. Breathing in, breathing out. Rest the spine. Allow it to open. Go into your point of comfort and holding it there. Relax into it. And then seat yourself up. Taking your right leg over your left, sitting up nice and tall. Taking your left arm out, hugging around the knee, sitting tall. Taking the right hand behind you, pushing into that right hand, and gently start to twist. Just to your point of comfort, don't force anything. Gentle spinal twist here. Coming back around. Keeping the core tight, bringing the left leg over the right. Right arm hugs the knee, sitting nice and tall. Taking your left arm behind, pushing up. So you're sitting tall, pushing upwards, breathing in. And as you breathe out, do that gentle spinal twist. Holding it there. And releasing down. Let's bring ourselves down to our mat. You can either come down from your side or you can come down as we did at the beginning of the practice. Arms out in front, big breath in. Breathing out as we C-curve down. Holding the core tight, one vertebrae at a time. Holding behind the thighs if it's too much. Bring yourself down to the floor. Taking the legs so the feet are flat on the mat. Taking your right leg up, taking behind that calf and bringing that towards you. Really squeezing it in. If you want to take the left leg long, then you can. You can point the toes, you can flex the feet of the left leg, whatever's good for you. We're not lifting ourselves up, we're keeping ourselves flat and just pulling our leg. We're just stretching down the back of the leg here. Releasing that leg down. So it's flat on the mat with the foot, taking the left leg up, bringing the left leg in and squeezing that towards you. And if you wish to take the right leg long, flexing the foot, then do so. Feel the opening there. Releasing that. Bringing both feet up, we're going to take happy baby pose if that's good for you. You can take it, if you like, with just your feet together and just pushing down here, if that's good for you. Or you can bring your feet so that they're facing to the ceiling, holding behind the outsides of your feet and pushing your knees down towards your armpits, trying to keep the tailbone closer to the floor. Holding it there. This is quite a nice one for the quads. And if you want, you can even do a gentle little rock from side to side if that's good for you. Now everybody take the feet together, taking the hands around, pushing down, joining any others that started this position, and bringing your feet down. Taking your legs long, or you can keep them as you did at the beginning of the practice if you have lower spine issues, and lock your knees together. Taking our legs nice and long, we're going into full relaxation now. So shaking your legs here, close your eyes down, shake your arms, give your neck a release by it, turning your head from side to side. Getting yourself completely comfortable, whatever's good for you, palms up or palms down, feet, let them drop outwards. So let them feet drop outwards. Relaxing all 10 toes. Relax the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, and your ankles. Resting your calves and the tops of your legs, your knees, the backs of the thighs and the tops of the thighs. Both legs soft and rested. Releasing your glutes. Release your pelvis and the lower core. Release your lower spine. Your mid-spine and your tummy. Your upper spine and your chest. All 10 fingers. Palms of your hands, the backs of your hands and your wrists, the backs of your lower arms, the front of your lower arms, your elbows, backs of your upper arm and the fronts of your upper arm, your shoulders. Let the shoulders really be heavy and rested down. Both arms, shoulders, core, relaxed. Release your neck. And finally, your head. Let's release all of your facial muscles. Allow your jaw to release and relax. Maybe you've got your lips slightly parted. Relax your cheekbones. Relaxing your eyes, your eyebrows, your eyelids. Relax your forehead and the top of your head. Your whole body relaxed and surrendered to the floor beneath. I want you to visualize a balloon of your favourite colour as you're breathing in through the core. That balloon is getting bigger. The balloon starts to float upwards. And you watch the balloon as it gently flies off into the sky, away and away. The further it gets, the more relaxed you become. Keep focusing on the balloon. Until it's finally out of sight. And your body is relaxed. Just a gentle breath now. Rise and fall of your core. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just acknowledge them, let them go. Same way you let the balloon go, let the thoughts go. We're going to start to bring some movement back to our bodies. To visualise the room that you're in and the surrounding area. And then start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring yourself back to here and now. When you're ready, bring your feet up so they are firmly flat on the floor. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. bring ourselves over onto our favourite side. So whatever side you're coming on, push into your feet and shift your hips to the side and then roll over. Making a pillow for your head with your arm, opening out your lungs, breathing into the lungs, big breath in and breath out, let it all go. Big breath in through the nose, fill in those lungs and then out through the mouth, let the stale air go away. Coming up onto all fours now, so trying to keep the eyes closed if you can. Keep looking down at the floor. So we're on all fours now. Your eyes looking downwards, blink them open. Curling your toes under, behind you, and walk your fingertips towards your knees. Push into your knees, so you're up. Bringing the fingertips closer to your feet and push into them until your feet are flat on the floor and then hang down like a ragdoll. You might want to take hold of opposite elbows. You might want to swing gently from side to side. You might want to release your neck by nodding yes, and shaking no. And then everybody taking your hands onto your hips, bend your knees, big bend in the knees, pulling in that core, squeezing the glutes. And we start to rise slowly. Last thing that wants to come up is the head. We don't want any head brushes. Keeping the core tight. Shoulders go back and down, the neck, and finally the head. Amazing, guys. Let's come forward, give our arms a shake, give our legs a little shake. Shaking it out. Oh, we did work those legs today. Big breath in. Palms together, shake those arms. Big breath in again. Palms together, bringing our feet together. Bring our palms down to our heart centre. Give yourselves a bow and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. Thank you.